The Wilson Vesper is crazy, but not necessarily in a good way. And after 10 hours of play, I've got some thoughts you'll definitely want to hear. Hey, this is Will from Pickleball Paddle Reviews, and today we will be reviewing the Wilson Vesper, one of the coolest paddles I've ever seen. Let's talk about the design because this paddle is wild. First off, it's clean. Honestly, this might be the sleekest paddle out right now. Edgeless, minimalist, premium feeling. The free flex throat is a standout. It's shaped like a tennis racket, triangular throat and all. That's meant to boost aerodynamics, add flex, and make two-handed backhands easier. And yeah, it actually works. Frame construction, it's bladder molded. There's a foam layer around the polypropylene honeycomb core. It's supposed to isolate the sweet spot and give you better feel and control. There's a fiberglass layer under the carbon, and that adds a bit of pop. It's edgeless with indents around the sides that reduce weight and kind of make it a funky kind of look when you add lead tape.
The handle is one solid piece. It feels premium and solid in your hands. It's up there with how the Yola Pro 4 feels. Easy to grip with one hand or two, and the throat cutout makes it even easier to do two-handed backhands. But the handle bulges a little too much at the end.
There are two versions in the Vesper lineup. The Power 14mm for aggressive players who want pop and speed, and the Control 17mm for players who want finesse and resets. I tested the 14mm for most of the review, and I also spent about an hour with the 17mm. In my opinion, the 14mm is the one to go for. The 17mm felt flat and a little too muted, not enough pop or power for my style of play with these paddles. Here's what I found after 10 hours on court. This paddle gives you both power and control. I was hitting solid serves, dinks, and drives. It also felt really balanced and quick in hands battles. But here's the deal. The unique design, when it works, it really works, but when it doesn't, you feel it. The Power 14mm hits hard, poppy hits feel satisfying, and the power is totally manageable. But with the small paddle face, when you miss the sweet spot, it's a completely different paddle. The Control 17mm, it felt very soft, almost too soft, didn't have the same feedback or the satisfaction playing with it. What's strange is the paddle feels inconsistent. There's dwell time when you hit flush, but if you're even slightly off center, it's gone. It honestly feels like you're swinging a weapon in an action RPG where each hit can deal 1 to 99 damage. Great contact, awesome. Bad timing, you're punished. I think I could adapt to that and get more consistent over time, but that small face is always going to be a challenge. The raw carbon face is smoother than expected, so spin is there, but not elite. It's enough for me, but you'll notice if you're used to higher spin paddles. The paddle is actually very stable. It doesn't feel hollow or cheap. The sweet spot is centered and decent, but not huge. Off-center hits, you'll feel those right away. The two-handed backhand, this is where the Vesper shines. The throat design gives you extra room and comfort for a solid two-handed grip. This paddle is clearly made for tennis converts. If you hit two-handed backhands and love racket feel, this is your lane. The 14mm is great for aggressive players, and the 17mm might suit softer players, but only if you like that very muted feel. If you want that premium look and unique design and don't mind a learning curve, this could be it. But if consistency and forgiveness are keys for you, you might get frustrated. Let's talk about the $250 price tag. That's up from the $230 where it's originally started from. That means this paddle is in premium territory. It puts the Vesper against some of the big names like Carbon, Yola, and Selkirk. And is it worth that much? Honestly, not quite. Performance is good, the design is fresh, but for $250, I would want a more reliable and consistent paddle. It's not a bad paddle, but it feels like a gamble. Now, here's something unexpected. After 10 hours, I felt like the paddle was actually losing pop, not gaining it. At first I thought I was just maybe getting tired, but it really felt like the paddle was cooling off. The power wasn't hitting the same. Physically, it looks fine, no chips, cracks, or warping, but that performance fade is something I'll be watching closely. Here's the final verdict. Pros. Beautiful design, great for two-handed backhands, it's controllable power, and you're gonna have fast hands with this. Cons. This paddle has a small paddle face, it's inconsistent with off-centered hits, and it's expensive, and there's possible performance fade now. If you're a high-level player looking for a bold new paddle, this might be a fun experiment. But with the Yola Pro 4 right there in price, probably that's the one I would recommend over this, especially as that paddle offers better consistency, power, and touch. Anyway, if you do want a deal on this paddle, fill out our Google form down below in the description. I'll send you any promotions that might be available for the Wilson Vesper. Like the video and drop a comment if you've tried the Wilson Vesper yourself and maybe you feel differently, or maybe you do feel the same. And don't forget to subscribe for more reviews, visits, and pickleball content. Thanks for watching and peace out.